Hello, I've been asked to make a short film about Europe in the 10th century, which is my option module and which should be running next year, I hope, normally. And for those of you who don't know much about Europe in the 10th century, this is the module for you. Europe at that time, and the focus is on Christian Europe, but it faces a series of threats. In particular, it faces threats from non-Christian forces coming in. So the Vikings from Scandinavia really attack the whole of the British Isles and also northwestern Europe. The Hungarians or Magyars come in off the steppes of to the east and range right across. They do a series of really dramatic raids across Germany, down through France. They get as far as Catalonia. They also go into Italy. They sack and burn the really early medieval capital city of Pavia. And then the final force are Saracens or Muslims coming up from North Africa into Spain and also into southern Italy. They get as far as Rome. And there are also Muslim pirates based in southern France, the Balearics and Sardinia, which all has an impact on the ability of Christian Europe to communicate with each other. So one of the sort of stories that we'll be looking at in Europe at this time is how they negotiate and deal with these various challenges and what happens. But at the same time, it's also a period of considerable socio-economic change and political change. And there are different stories going on in different nations about that. One of the sort of features that you might be familiar with that really emerges in this period is the localization of power, and in particular, things like local parish churches. This is really when they begin to be built. It's when villages begin to cohere. It's quite a lot of castle building. Well, fortifications are starting to exist. So it's a time of political change, it's a time of social change, it's a time of cultural change. First female post-classical playwright, for example, is a product of a 10th century German monastery. So I hope this module is intended to have something to appeal to most of you who have any interest in the Middle Ages whatsoever. If you're interested in warfare and war, great. But if you're interested in things like superstition, magic, then we look at magical beliefs, superstitious beliefs. In particular, there are some great texts about how female superstitions, female magic. If you're interested in ideas and what in particular I think it might be meaningful to you all, given what's happening at the moment, how societies deal with and react to external forces beyond their control is something that the course is very much focused on. And so one of the issues that we look at is which people are worried about what's going to happen to them, and the extent that that focuses in particular on millenarian anxiety in the year 1000. So the module really should have something for all of you, whether you're interested in politics, war, gender, social history. And it's taught in 2 lectures a week and a seminar a week. And in those seminars, we basically look at a particular issue using sources in English translation. I think one of the other things to say about the module that's really great is because there's quite a small source base for the 10th century, you will be able to engage with the 10th century on it's sort of on a par with and at a level with professional historians, but I hope that doesn't put you off. Um, so if this is something that you're interested in, then I'd suggest you look at the ELE site, which has lots more details about how the course runs. It has things like the lecture PowerPoints up there for the last time it ran, seminars and things like that. And obviously you can email me if you have any questions. Thank you. Bye-bye.